Hello, good morning. Doug here from the Hundredfold Journey. Thanks again for joining us on this Sundays with Doug, where we are coming alongside of you because we are all on a journey together. And we're here to help rewire your brain, build new habits, and create a new identity. Because a hundredfold is about a group of people that are on a journey to find their true identity and life purpose. And our mission is to provide support, encouragement, and resources to help those on their journey, because you do have the power to choose. We've been on a series called We Have the Mind of Christ. We've been on it for a couple of months now. And the last video I had, we talked about our emotional guidance system. The external guidance system. Today, we're going to be talking about the emotional guidance system. What I have found in my own life is that the way that God has designed us is to be able to guide us invisibly through three methods: through our emotions, which we're going to talk about today, our external environment, which is outside of us, which is a video that I shared a couple of weeks ago. And then the third one is the physical way. And what I mean by physical is how our body is responding or reacting. So today we're going to be talking about the emotional guidance system and what that looks like, because we have the mind of Christ. So what this means is that we have the ability to be able to sense, to think, and know what the will of God is. That is, if we're paying attention and if we're aware of the signals that we're receiving. Because remember, God is invisible, spirit is invisible, consciousness is invisible. So how do we get directed? And again, these are the three methods. And the way this works is because everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. So very famous Albert Einstein and Nikola Tesla said, everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy, this is physics. So again, the way the physical nature of God's design, everything is frequency. And then Nikola Tesla says, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So as we are looking at our emotions, think of those emotions as energy, frequency, or vibration. It's actually inside of us. And in particular, energy, right? That's kind of how I think of it more. The energy of love, the frequency of love, the vibration of love versus fear, because fear is an energy. It's also a frequency and a vibration. And when we can tune into those emotions, then we can be guided in the direction we want to go, and that direction is love and gratitude, because we are a receiver and a transmitter, right? So we have the ability to receive messages, if you will, signals. Now I'm going external, I'm going like this, but really it's inside, right? God's spirit is inside of us. We are the temple of God. We are his dwelling place. And I shared this on another video. We are his avatar. So he is living his life in us, through us, as us. So we can receive the direction, the signals, the frequency, the vibration from that spirit. And then we also transmit out. So we also can transmit frequency, energies, and vibrations. So we're just like an antenna, if you will. And we're here to live this physical experience, and we're receiving direction, and we're actually transmitting outside of us. But then how do we know what that signal is? What frequency are our emotions designed to be on? Well, that, if we want to know what that is, we have to look at the life of Jesus. So he was the reset button to reveal who you are and who God is, because you are 100% God and 100% man. So I'm not saying that you're the God that created you, but we have been given the life just like Jesus was given the life of God. 100% God, 100% man, just as Jesus was. So Jesus is the tuning fork for the universe. Everything else that came before and even after Jesus um, is man's definition of what the spiritual life is. So when we look at the life of Jesus, we see how he lived, the things he taught, and how he interacted with other people, and how he thought of himself. And that was the reset button. And he even claimed, if you want to know who God is, look at me, because me and the Father are one. And it's the same in my life as well. The truth is, do I really understand that? Do I really believe that I am one with God? When I do believe it, then I can live, and I do live the life that Christ lived, which is above circumstances, above situations. He had his emotions under control, and his physical body under control. And despite what was happening to him externally, he was able to manage it through his knowing of who he was. And who he was love, joy, abundance. He lived out of rest. He was healthy and at peace. So this is the experience. This is our experience. This is the way God designed us to live, out of love, joy, and abundance, regardless of circumstances, regardless of situations. So again, Jesus was the reset button. We want to know the life that we are to live. We just look at him as our example. So into the emotional guidance system. What is our emotional guidance system, and how is it put in place, and how do we work it to help us to live the life that God intended? And the question we have to ask is, what am I feeling right now? And there's really two scales. There's a scale that goes up, and then there's a scale that goes down. The scale that goes up, you'll see on the left-hand side, it's contentment, it's belief, it's passion, it's freedom, it's happiness. And those emotions are on the higher scale, and that's the direction that God is always guiding us and always leading us towards. And then you'll notice on the right-hand side, the scale is going down. So it goes to boredom, to doubt, to discouragement, to anger, to fear, and down at the bottom, depression and powerlessness. And you can kind of see the pictures, and I really like the pictures as they kind of display what each of those emotions are telling us. So what am I feeling right now is the way that God guides us or directs us. Anything other than the left-hand side, then we know that our frequency and our energy and vibration is out of alignment. And I really like the word alignment, because alignment means that we are following our life purpose and our true identity. Because remember, 100-fold is about knowing our true identity and our life purpose. So anything that deviates from that, if we're in worry or fear or doubt, we're out of alignment. And basically the emotions are there to tell us that we're out of alignment. So anytime you have a negative feeling or a negative thought, it's actually a good thing or a positive thing, because it's telling you that there's something that you're believing about that situation that is incorrect, because it's not who you are. It's not your true identity. Our true identity is love, joy, peace. In fact, the 9 fruits of the Spirit, right? Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. Anything outside of that, we're out of alignment, which means we're not going to be able to see or feel or sense God's direction, because we're restricting it, if you will. If you'll notice, I have a radio dial. So think of it as a radio dial. We want to be on FM 101, because that's where our emotions, our strong emotions are, our healthy emotions. But fear, worry, and doubt is actually at a different frequency. It's 98.6 FM. So we can't think that we are in alignment and that we're in love and joy when we're on a different station, right? We're not even going to be able to hear the frequency or energy or vibration of these higher frequencies, because we're not even tuned in. So the beauty about this is that when we are in this downward spiral, we should think, hey, wait a second, I'm not on the right frequency or vibration, and I need to change my belief, change my feelings, change my emotions, and get to 101 FM, which is love, joy, peace, etc. So again, what am I feeling right now is a very important question, because then you can say, well, why am I worried? Why am I fearful? What is it that I need to believe about this situation that's causing me to have this feeling? And then it guides you to get that answer. And I say it, the spirit, when you ask that question, the spirit will answer and say, hey, you don't believe you're worthy enough to have this, or to get this, or to feel this way, right? And so there might be some healing that would be required, that you're going to have to look at and ask, the why questions. Why do I believe that about myself? What is it that I need to believe for me to feel this way? And then you make the adjustment. You change the frequency, you change the dial to 101 FM. So that's how our emotional guidance system works. Think of it as positive. Thank you that I feel angry about this situation, because it's revealing something about me or about the situation that needs to be adjusted. Hope that makes sense. The other way to look at this is through Dr. Hawking's scale of consciousness, map of consciousness. Again, Dr. David Hawkins put this together in his book. A different way to look at it, and if you look at the middle line, and you look at the arrow that's going up, and you look at the arrow that's going down, what this map of consciousness tells us is that when we're in a lower frequency or a lower vibration of pride and anger and fear, we're actually pulling energy out of things. We're a negative energy flow, if you will, and we're actually pulling out or pulling away from other people or even ourselves. And it's a downward spiral like the previous slide, but think of it as energy is actually pulling away. It's pulling away energy from other people. I'm sure most of you have walked into a room and you felt the energy of that room, and there might have been, anger or frustration, and you could just sense it. You could feel it in the room. And that's because that energy is actually pulling out. It's negative. Versus entering a room on the higher level, which is love and joy and peace and enlightenment. The energy in the room, you just feel it. When you go to church sometimes, you feel the energy in the room, and you feel the frequency and energy of that room, and it's uplifting, right? It lifts you up versus brings you down. So this is a different way of looking at it. And then of course you can see the different color matches, which is the 7 chakras. There's 7 different colors here. And you see when you get to enlightenment, it's your crown chakra, which is above. And that's the direction that we want to be going, is in the state of enlightenment with that chakra. So that's the map of consciousness. So that is our emotional guidance system. I hope this helps. And for us to not be fearful of the negative emotions that we have, instead see them for what they are, be aware that those emotions are there, and then address them, look at them, and then make the adjustment as necessary. I really like this chart. I've shared this before. What does the mind of Christ look like? It all starts with gratitude. We need to have an attitude of gratitude, even towards our emotions, and even towards the different trials and tribulations we go through, and even the external. When we have a state of gratitude, we see it for what it is, and it's our guidance system. When we have a state of gratitude, then we understand our identity. And our identity is that we are a child of God. We are adopted into his family. We are his dwelling place. We have the Spirit of God that dwells in us. That is our identity. 100% God, 100% man. And when we understand that, we will want to meditate and to pray and really understand that and be aware of the thoughts that are coming in. Then we can use our imagination for creating things. Imagine what it would be like to author a book, which I just got published just on November 15th of 2023. So I'm excited about that. But the imagination of being able to write a book and have it be published, and knowing that you're a co-creator, and then just having this wheel continue to go around. The more you co-create, the more gratitude you have, the more you understand your identity, etc. So please use this, the Mind of Christ wheel, to remind you of what that looks like. And then, of course, the 10 truths, which I always ask that you guys memorize, apply, and meditate. And, you know, I like to have you guys share maybe of your experiences, and you can put the comments down below. But the way that we know that we have the mind of Christ is that we actually experience the same things that Christ experienced. He was always in the right place at the right time. Circumstances didn't matter to him, only state of being mattered to him. So please work on memorizing these 10 truths, because they are life-changing for you, and help you with your emotions as well. All right, that's the study for today. Thank you for joining me. As always, you can reach out on Facebook. We're on Instagram and on YouTube, which is probably where you're watching this. And also, please reach out on our website, the100foldjourney.com. And I'd love to be able to support you, provide resources. And then, of course, we actually have a group that meets every Monday night. So if you go on the website, you'll see the link to that, and would love to be able to meet you and share your story with us and help you along on your journey. That's it for this morning. Thanks as always, and bye for now.